Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Next Goal Wins. Today we're talking Gus Hiddink, could he be the next Leicester manager? N'Golo Kante, is the deal wrapped up for him? And another bid for a striker, £12 million for Charlie Austin. What's going to happen next? So yeah, let's talk the big news first. Obviously, we all know Nigel Pearson left a few days ago. Then it looks like Gus Hiddink is the new favourite. Hiddink obviously left his Netherlands job the same day as Pearson got fired by Leicester. It'll be a bit of a coup really for us, I think, getting Hiddink. I know a lot of people seem really negative by Hiddink, saying it could be a Sven Mark II and such forth, but I don't think you can think about it like that. I mean, Hiddink's been more successful at more clubs. I know recently he's tailed off a bit, just doing a lot of international management, but still, I mean, he got Korea to a semi-final of a World Cup. Australia, their national team, they respect him massively in Australia still. Did brilliantly at Chelsea. Angie did alright, finished third in the league with them, so I can't really get the negativity behind it. I think the perfect situation would be to get him as kind of an on-seer for a younger developing someone like Esteban Cambiasso below him, or even to keep Shakespeare and Walsh on and just have Hiddink as kind of an overseer, because with this £12 million bid for Austin and keeping Kante, the bid going for that, you'd think that Shakespeare and Walsh must be staying at a club in some capacity of the coaching, because it's their signings originally, you'd think, being there with Nigel, so they must want him. And to even bid for Austin, there must be something in place with a manager. I know we're all worrying, obviously, as we do, that who's going to come in next, and there will be negativity from everyone because everyone has different views on it. Personally, my point of view, I would like Hiddink because he'll attract players. I think he's a good manager. We know that. He is a good manager. I mean, he's got a 57% win percentage in his career, and you don't get that by being an average manager. He's never had a job like Leicester before, really. He had Real Betis when they had a lot of money as well, which is kind of a similar situation. They got bought by big owners. They decided to invest in Hiddink, and they bought a lot of expensive players. I remember a Brazilian they bought for 30 million. And yeah, it didn't go well there for him. He had an 18% win rate. So let's hope it's not like that if he does come in. That was his worst period in his career, and it's kind of the most similar situation to Leicester. So we really hope that doesn't happen. Obviously at Betis it was a bit different, that they wanted to win the league really the season with their investment, and we're not really looking for that. We're looking for, I mean, the owners might be, but as a fans I think we're just looking for staying up and mid-table again. Obviously if we spend all this money, get Hiddink in, we're looking for higher than that, but you never really know. I mean, for Hiddink, I'm not sure if people understand that Hiddink will bring people who maybe are better than the squad we have. But there's a lot of people in our squad, obviously, who are fans' favourites or such. I mean, a lot of people like David Nugent of a club, and he'll obviously go now, especially with this bid for Austin. He looks like he's going to be on his way out, and Hiddink in, I can't imagine him ever playing. And I see people being negative about that. I saw someone today who put Nugent will never play, and what happens if some of our other regulars don't play? Well, that's football, isn't it? I mean, yes, the players got us promoted, but maybe it's time to move on. It's time to move on from Danny Drinkwater in midfield, Matty James in midfield, and Andy King, who's been at the club for a long time. Maybe it is time to develop and push on. We can't always rely on these players who got us up to deliver. People, it was like Knockout last season, everyone asked for him to be given a chance. He didn't deserve a chance. He wasn't as good as Mahrez, or when Albrighton came out, he couldn't do any of those jobs. And so football moves like that. Football has to develop, and you have to develop the team. And obviously Nigel, one of the disputes must have been with a transfer. We know Nigel's very frugal really with transfers. Obviously he spent a lot last summer, but we don't know if that again was pressure from the Thai owners to bring big in. In the past few years he's done all his business early, and free transfers have been massive for Nigel, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, especially with this £12 million bid for Austin and the £8 million that looks like it's going to be agreed for Kante. Hiddink, finally, let's have a final word on Hiddink. I mean, look at his record. He's won a lot of games wherever he's been, really, and yes, he could just be here for one final payday, but is that such a bad thing? If he comes for one final payday, solidifies us for 1 year, 2 year, and then we get another manager in. Esteban's promoted from within, he stays. We get another manager who's better than the list of available managers at the moment. I mean, no one really wants Neil Lennon to bring the club forward. At least Hiddink could maybe do a job. And then worst comes to worst, we go down under Hiddink. We go down under Hiddink, and then we had that season under Hiddink, and we know we learn from it. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Obviously, that would be the last thing any of us would want. But Hiddink, you think about it, he'll come in, he should rejuvenate a squad. People will want to play under him. The players should want to play under him. He's a big name manager. People will thrive at the club playing under him. Hopefully he'll attract the kind of players who can push us on to that next stage as a club that Nigel maybe couldn't. Let's talk about those players in question, man. Like I keep mentioning, N'Golo Kante, the Caen midfielder. Looks like we've agreed £8 million for him, snatching him from Marseille. Marseille apparently bid £4 million and then disrespectful kind of. They only offered about £20,000 a week to Kante, which obviously Leicester will be able to offer more. I've seen Kante play, and he's very good. He is very good. He's small, he's got that low centre of gravity, he's much faster than any midfielder we've got at the moment, he's much more mobile than Cambiasso. His range of passing, he's quite two-footed on his passing, dominantly right-footed, but can play him on the left as well. But he's a real ball winner, a real Vardy of midfield type. He'll scurry around, but he'll win the ball on more occasion than not. I mean, he had more tackles than any other player in the top 5 leagues last season, so that really shows he's got a lot of quality. People calling him the next Makelele, I hate when people do that, give him the next tag. I mean, Freddie Adu was the next Pele, wasn't he? And look where he's ended up. But, you know, Kante, he looks like a really good player, skillful in the middle, can pass it. His goals aren't great. I mean, he only got 2 last season, but goals from midfield we can buy again in other areas if we're really spending this amount of money. It looks like we are. He'll come in, he'll solidify. If Cambiasso goes, he'll obviously be a makeshift replacement. If Cambiasso stays, he could play alongside him. One thing is for sure, he's much better than Drinkwater or James or King, who we already have, and he'll be a massive improvement over them. Like I said, he's got kind of a small build in midfield, and he scurries around fast. He can play the ball out wide. Some of his passes are a bit off, but he makes up for it by winning the ball back more often than not. Finally, then today, the big shock news. You turn on your TV, you think, oh, Leicester at the bottom on breaking news. Manager, is it? £12 million for Charlie Austin, rejected. Looks like we could go back in with $15 million. We don't need another striker. I know Charlie Austin, of course, he's much better than the sum we have available. For example, he's better than Ulloa, Vardy. I would really want to see Kramaric this season. I think he'll be really good. I think he'll come on. Obviously, we don't know what Okazaki's going to be like yet, but I hope he'll come on. Vardy, we know what Vardy's like, but I can see Austin, if we do get him in, I could see Ulloa leaving and Nugent, and then having those 4 strikers, because Austin is better than Ulloa and Nugent. He showed that last season. He scored far more goals in a team that got relegated. So Austin, I don't think it'll be a bad signing, but I don't think it's a signing we need. I'd rather we spent £12 million on other positions. I mean, centre-back, we still need one of them. Kamil Glick from Torino, a brilliant centre-back. We could get him for £12 million. Attacking midfielders, we could get a lot of them for £12 million. So I'm not sure it's the signing we need. The owner's obviously trying to blow all the money, not blow the money, that's the wrong expression, but spend money big to get us to the next stage. But I'm not sure another striker is where we need to go. Like I said, I'd like to see another attacking midfielder come in who can bring goals. Even if we get Kante and Cambiasso signs, I still think we need another central midfielder, because that's the most important area on the pitch. That's where all the game's played. And with those two, and then another person in front of them. I mean, I know we've got Mahrez already, and Kramaric could drop off, but Kramaric needs to be up front. Okazaki needs to be up front. Vardy needs to be up front. Mahrez is the only kind of player we've got who can play in that role behind. So to just get one more of them, I think that'll be £12 million better spent. So, you know, it could be anything happening, really. It's an amazing period in this club's history. I mean, what could happen next? We could plummet, or we could push on and be a massive force in English football. Who really knows? It's very exciting, though. As much as it's nerve-wracking and you have no idea what's going to happen, you can't admit it's not exciting to be linked with these players and these kind of managers. And any people who say, oh, we don't want Hiddink, he's too big of a name, just come in for a paycheck. Look, we're Leicester City. We had Martin Allen a few seasons ago. He didn't come for a paycheck, and he was rubbish. So I'd rather have someone come for a paycheck and at least be good and attract players. So, you know, I've witnessed Gary Megson in Ian Holloway. No one can be worse. So we might as well give it a go. But yeah, Hiddink, I'd like him to come in as like not a director of football, I don't like that, but head coach type role. Someone below him can be so, and then build on from that and keep the kind of knit squad together. We need someone in that squad who knows what the squad's about, because that's what helped us last season. That squad at the end, all of them being together. Yes, it might have come from Nigel, but look, we can't talk about Nigel anymore. He's gone. He's not the manager. We have to have a positive mindset. You've got to look forward in life, and we've got to look forward without Nigel Pearson, because he's not the manager of this football club anymore. And whatever happens, everyone will support Leicester City, who's already a Leicester City fan. And who knows, Hiddink might improve us across abroad for our fan base, which some people might not want, but, you know, it'll grow us as a club. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk on this matter. Please like the video. Please leave your comments below with who you want as manager. I might do a straw poll in the link below for who you want as manager. And please subscribe to me for a video every day. See you in the next one.